In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 MLB games happening on May 14, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Minnesota Twins versus Baltimore Orioles. Game 1. The Minnesota Twins and the Baltimore Orioles meet with both clubs heading in opposite directions as summer baseball starts to kick in. The Twins sit at 21-20 and are currently holding 4th place in the American League Central, but they've been red hot lately, stringing together 8 straight wins. Meanwhile, the Orioles are stuck at 15-24, sitting at the bottom of the American League East. They've only managed to win 4 of their last 10 games and look like a team still trying to find their rhythm. Right now, the Twins are playing with confidence and momentum, and they'll try to take control of this game right out of the gate. Their offense has been clicking, with Harrison Bader, Byron Buxton, and the rest of the order putting up quality at-bats and hitting the ball hard. Minnesota should have no problem putting runs on the board. On the mound, Bailey Ober will look to keep the Orioles' bats quiet. Baltimore has been averaging just 3.77 runs per game, and Ober should be able to go deep enough into the game to set things up for a solid bullpen finish. Back at the start of 2025, the Orioles had owned the Twins in recent matchups, winning 7 straight. But after they faced off just last week, everything shifted. Minnesota swept the series and flipped the momentum in a big way. That said, both teams have their issues. Minnesota hasn't looked sharp on the road, and Baltimore has had a tough time playing at home. This makes it a key matchup for both sides, but with the Twins riding an 8-game winning streak, they come in with the edge and should be able to make it 9 in a row. As our first pick for this matchup, the Minnesota Twins money line is our full game side pick. Neither lineup has been tearing it up. The Orioles are capable of slowing down a Twins offense that averages just 4 runs per game, especially with Dean Kremer expected to pitch a few solid innings. On the other side, Minnesota has the tools to completely stifle the Orioles lineup. Baltimore has only put up 24 total runs in their last 8 games, and Bailey Ober should be able to hold them in check with a mix of soft contact and a heavy dose of strikeouts across several innings. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. St. Louis Cardinals versus Philadelphia Phillies. Game 1. The St. Louis Cardinals head to Philadelphia to kick off a doubleheader against the Phillies on Wednesday afternoon. This marks the first of 2 games on the day, and it sets the tone for what should be a competitive series between 2 solid teams trying to build momentum. Even though the Cardinals are on a bit of a heater lately, they haven't looked all that scary away from home. In fact, they're 5 games under .500 on the road this year. Meanwhile, the Phillies have been tough to beat at home, losing only 7 times in front of their own fans. On the mound, things look a little lopsided. Eric Fed, starting for the Cardinals, has never really found a groove against the Phillies. His career numbers are rough, an earned run average of 5.98 and just 2 wins in 9 tries. St. Louis has dropped 5 of his 8 starts this season, too. On the other side, the Phillies hand the ball to Jesus Luzardo, who's been pitching like a frontline guy. He's held opponents to 2 runs or fewer in all but 1 game this season, and Philly has come out on top in 4 of his last 5 appearances. Even though St. Louis is playing good baseball, Luzardo's been a major problem for opposing lineups, and the Cardinals know that firsthand. In Game 1, the Phillies get to send out a lefty who owns the 10th best earned run average in the league at 2.11 and a WHIP of 1.21, which ranks 46th. More than just numbers, Luzardo's made the Cardinals look small in past matchups. Against him, the current Cardinals roster is hitting just .182 with a .206 OBP and a .212 slugging percentage over 22 at-bats. Meanwhile, Fed's struggles on the road are hard to ignore. To me, this one feels pretty simple. Philly has the clear edge in starting pitching in this spot. As our first pick for this matchup, the Philadelphia Phillies money line is our full game side pick. Offensively, the Cardinals have been getting it done. They've scored at least 5 runs in 5 of their last 8 games, and they've looked sharper at the plate lately. But the Phillies have been putting up some serious numbers too, especially at home. They've given up 22 runs across their last 5 home games, but they've also been hammering opposing pitchers. Over their last 10 games, they're averaging 5.2 runs, and that number goes up slightly to 5.3 runs when they play at home. Fed might have looked better in his most recent outing, but he's been all over the place this season. Before that last start, he gave up 10 runs in 2 games. That kind of inconsistency is tough to trust. And lately, games he pitches in tend to lean toward the high side. The over has hit in 3 of his past 4 outings. With both offenses heating up and the pitching matchup favoring scoring opportunities, I wouldn't be surprised to see some big numbers on the scoreboard. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Milwaukee Brewers versus Cleveland Guardians. The Milwaukee Brewers and Cleveland Guardians are set to face off for the 3rd time in their 2025 series this Wednesday. It's the final game in the set, and so far, it's been all Guardians. Milwaukee hasn't managed to put a single run on the board in either of the first 2 games. The Brewers just aren't making a strong case for themselves right now. They dropped the opener 5-0 and followed it up with a 2-0 shutout loss. It's tough to root for them at the moment. They're just not putting it together. Their lineup isn't producing. The bullpen looks shaky, and their starting rotation is kind of a mess. Cleveland, by comparison, is playing like a much more complete team. I'm sticking with the Guardians to take this game and finish the sweep. Gavin Williams will get the ball for Cleveland in this one. He's not an ace, but he's a solid option, and he's coming off a couple of quality starts. Milwaukee will counter with Logan Henderson, a 23-year-old right-hander who will be making just his 2nd start in the majors. His debut was impressive, 6 innings of 1-run ball with 9 strikeouts, but this Cleveland lineup isn't one that goes down swinging easily. My concern for Milwaukee lies in how poorly they hit righties. Their slugging percentage against them ranks 4th worst in the league. On top of that, their bullpen hasn't been reliable. There are simply too many ways this can fall apart for the Brewers. I trust Cleveland to handle business. As our first pick for this matchup, neither offense has looked especially sharp of late. Monday's game stayed under the total, with the Brewers putting up a goose egg and the Guardians somehow managing to turn just 6 hits into 5 runs. Milwaukee's been trending toward the under pretty consistently. They've failed to hit the over in 8 of their last 9 games heading into Tuesday. They didn't score at all on Monday and haven't posted more than 4 runs in any of their last 5 games. Cleveland may have come out with the win, but they've also been quiet at the plate recently. Just 1 run across their last 2 games against Philadelphia. Gavin Williams pitched one of those games and held Philly scoreless. He's carrying that momentum into this matchup. Odds makers aren't expecting an offensive outburst here, and that makes sense. Cleveland has completely shut Milwaukee down in the first 2 games, 5 runs in the opener, 2 in the follow-up. The team total under has hit in 4 of the last 5 for the Guardians, and in 9 of the last 10 for the Brewers. A total of 8 runs doesn't seem that high, but with Williams on the mound and Milwaukee's offense sputtering, even that might be asking too much. He was on the hill for a 6-0 Guardians win in his last outing, comfortably hitting the under on a 7.5 line. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Minnesota Twins versus Baltimore Orioles, Game 2. The Minnesota Twins and the Baltimore Orioles are set to face off on Wednesday in a doubleheader at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. It's a full day of baseball between these 2 teams, and both matchups should give us a clearer sense of where each club stands right now. Looking at the Orioles, they've been struggling badly. They're sitting 9 games under the .500 mark, and their pitching has been one of the worst in the league through 39 games. Simon Woods Richardson has had his ups and downs this year, and it's not great seeing a 5.3 earned run average with opposing batters hitting .301 against him in 18.2 road innings. That said, Baltimore hasn't exactly been setting the world on fire either. Woods Richardson may not be dominant, but he's been passable in spots. As our first pick for this matchup, the Minnesota Twins money line is our full game side pick. The under hasn't hit consistently in recent meetings between these teams, just 4 times in their last 10 games, but when they played a 3-game set last week, the under hit in 2 of those contests. That series only produced a total of 24 runs combined across all 3 games. When it comes to recent trends, the Twins have seen the under cash in 7 of their last 10 games, allowing 4 runs or fewer in 8 of those. The Orioles are in a similar spot, with the under also hitting in 7 of their last 10. And their offense scoring 4 or fewer runs in 7 of those games. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Arizona Diamondbacks versus San Francisco Giants. The Arizona Diamondbacks and the San Francisco Giants are set to finish up their three-game series on Wednesday afternoon in the Bay Area. Arizona currently sits in 4th place in the National League West, a division that's been a grind all year long. Meanwhile, San Francisco has been trying to shake off a rough patch, and over the last few days, they've seen their lead over the D-backs shrink more than they'd like. Neither of the starting pitchers coming into this one has been sharp lately. Rodriguez is carrying an earned run average that's hovering around 7, and Hicks isn't doing a whole lot better, with his earned run average sitting close to 6. Neither of these guys has consistently lasted deep into games either, both averaging just over 5 innings per outing. That sets the stage for a bullpen-heavy game, which favors San Francisco in a big way. The Giants have the best bullpen earned run average in the league this season, while Arizona's bullpen ranks near the bottom, 5th worst to be exact. San Francisco has also played well in afternoon games, going 13-6 during the day. Those patterns aren't flukes. They're likely to continue here. As our first pick for this matchup, the Giants' money line is our full game side pick. When Rodriguez is on the mound, runs tend to pile up. The over has hit in each of his last 5 starts, and his inflated earned run average backs that up. He's also been giving up homers at an alarming rate, 8 home runs in 8 starts. On top of that, he's surrendered 53 hits in just over 40 innings. Hicks hasn't been much cleaner. He's allowed 46 hits in 43 innings and holds an earned run average of 5.82. The Giants have hit the over in 3 of Hicks' last 5 starts, and both pitchers are showing signs that point to more of the same here. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.